Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for showing up to today's session. Today I wanted to give you the gift of a flow into Shirsasana B headstand. So go ahead and grab a blanket. So just any blanket will do, and just make sure that you have it close by. We'll use it a little later on. And then come to a comfy seat. So you could be sitting on your shins or cross-ankled. Go ahead and close your eyes and just begin to drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And then drop your head back, opening up the front of the throat. And then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then drop your chin into the chest, opening up the back of the neck. And then keep those circles going. So just some nice juicy head rolls here to get us going. So if you do have any sort of serious neck stuff happening, I'll offer you some modifications, right? The biggest modification for you is to probably not bear any weight on the crown of the head, and instead of moving into headstand, maybe just a dolphin or a forearm stand. So there are different ways to always modify the practice to meet the needs of your body. Go ahead and pause wherever you're at and just reverse the direction of the circles. Begin to really tap into your breath here. Powerfully breathing in, powerfully breathing out. Meditating on the breath as it passes through your throat center, making that oceanic sound, Ujjayi. Okay, gently bring your head back to neutral, and then meet me in all fours. And go ahead and organize your joints here. So bring your wrists right under your shoulders, your knees right under your hips. You can point the toes back behind you. Really spread your palms wide and check in that your index fingers are facing directly forward, and then actively press your finger pads into the earth. So we're going to inhale here to a neutral spine, and then on the exhale, you're going to lower at the same time both of your elbows down to the ground and your forehead to the ground as well. And then you'll inhale to lift your elbows up at the same time back into all fours. Exhale, lower both elbows down, sort of like a forklift. And then inhale to lift back up all fours. Close your eyes. Keep moving with your breath, really allowing your breath to be the guide, your breath to be in the driver's seat. This is a Kundalini exercise for awakening our third eye. And it also really fires up and awakens our tricep muscles, which are very important as we move into our headstand. So feel free to go at your own pace. You might see if it's possible to speed up the movement, but it's not necessary. Bring in more breath. Just a few more here. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, sit back towards your heels, child's pose. Soften your forehead. You can rock your hips side to side, roll your forehead on the earth. And taking a deep breath in through the nose, really invite the breath into the back body. And then as you breathe out, make an O shape with the mouth, cannon breath. Go ahead and sweep your arms back behind you. Interlace your hands behind your back. See if you can challenge yourself here to bring the heels of the hands towards one another so that they might even be pressing there. And then extend your arms back behind you. And on your next breath in, you're just going to gently roll up onto the crown of the head. Lift your belly in and up. So engage Uddiyana Bandha there to support you as your arms move into extension. Oh, rabbit pose. And then exhale, sit back towards your heels, child's pose. Keep the arms. We're going to flow through this some more. Inhale, rise up on the crown of the head. Find that sweet spot as you lift up through the belly. And then exhale, sit back. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. This time as you inhale, roll up through the spine, tent the fingertips behind you, scoop your tail forward as you lift your hips up. Allow your shoulders to peel back, your heart to lift as well. And then stick your tongue out, let out a lion's breath as you exhale. Dropping your sit bones back down. Inhale to travel forward into all fours, and then as you exhale, tuck your toes and peel your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Take a moment here to dance it out with yourself. Shake your head out, shake your lips out. Wag your tail side to side. This always feels really nice. Check in that your finger pads are still actively rooting into the earth. There's a little lift through the center of the palm there for Hasta Bandha. Inhale to lift your heels high. As you exhale, shift your heels to the right and your toes to the left, and then see if you can anchor your heels down towards the ground. Let the head be heavy, back of the neck long. Actively press the hands into the earth. Inhale to lift your heels high through center. Heels to the left, toes to the right, and then see if you can begin to soften the heels down towards the earth. Breathe deep. Inhale your heels high through center, and then exhale, see if you can plug the heels straight down. Inhale here to float forward, plank pose. On the exhale, use the power of your core, of your center, to gracefully, gently drop your knees down right underneath your hips. Point your toes. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone and your gaze for cow, finding that nice arch through the spine. Then exhale, press the earth away, round through your back, chin into chest for cat. Inhale, drop the belly, arch. This time as you exhale, shift your weight forward in the fingertips and then bend the elbows straight back. Lower your chest and your chin. Lengthen out. Tops of feet to the earth. Inhale, lift your head and your heart. Peel the shoulders back. Draw the elbows in. And then exhale, travel over the knees. Tuck your toes. Come back home to downward facing dog. Let's flow through that 2 more times. Inhale, come forward plank. Get long, get strong. Exhale with grace and lightness. Drop your knees under your hips. Point your toes. Inhale, drop your belly, arch the spine. Exhale, hug the belly in and up, dome your spine. Inhale to find the arch. Exhale, lean forward, bend the elbows straight back. Gracefully lower chest and chin. Lengthen out. Inhale, cobra. Thighs are engaged. Exhale, travel over the knees, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down. Point the toes. Inhale, drop the belly, arch the spine. Exhale, curl in and round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, lean forward, lower your chest and your chin. Inhale to cobra. Lift your gaze. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment here to really press your chest back towards your thighs, heavy head. Spiraling those inner thighs back. Take a deep breath in. And then you can let something go out the mouth. See if you can tense your fingers here and then slowly walk your tented fingers back towards your feet. And then hang out here for a moment in Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Might widen your feet out a little bit, maybe even mat's width. Grab opposite elbows, sway and swing like a pendulum side to side. Maybe even interlacing the hands behind your back right here. Seeing if you can draw the heels of the hands towards one another and then allow your arms to extend overhead. As much of a bend in the knees as you need here, please do that for yourself. We're going more for that long spine. And gently release your arms as you breathe out. Put a nice bend in your knees at this point. Keep your head heavy and your spine nice and round as you slowly roll up to a standing mountain pose at the back of your mat. See if you can keep your eyes closed. Turn your palms towards the front. Roll the shoulders down the back. Lengthen the tailbone down the tiniest bit and stand tall with yourself right here. Okay. Fluttering the eyes open, go ahead and bring your feet a little bit wider. I like to bring them just outside the edges of my mat even. So a nice, steady, wide foundation. And then bend your knees quite a bit as well. We're going to go for Kundalini spinal flexus here. So go ahead and bring your palms onto your shoulders with your 4 fingers in front, your thumbs in back. And then bring your arms level to the earth. We're going to inhale here and twist to the left, and then exhale to twist to the right. So inhale to the left, see if you can look back. Exhale to the right, looking back. Okay, so you can either keep your eyes open or close them, whatever feels more natural for you today. And again, the movement here can be at your own pace. You can go slow, you could go a little bit quicker, anywhere in between. Your lower half is really solid. It's the foundation, and we're really isolating the movement here along the spinal column, clearing out any stuck energy along the spine, along the chakra system. Might come like breath of fire there as you breathe out. Keep this going, everybody. Clearing out, detoxifying the body as well as the mind, letting go of any preconceived ideas or preconceived notions of you or your potential in your practice. right? Any limiting beliefs, just rinsing them out through this rinse cycle here. Washing machine. Come to center, breathe in, lift your elbows up towards the sky, squeeze and lift your root lock here. Keep your heart open, chin into chest, take in another sip of air. Hold it, feel your energy grounded, but elevating up, 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 out the crown of the head towards the cosmos at the same time. And then powerfully exhale, release the arms. Shake the arms, shake the legs. You can bring your feet back in, hips width distance. Inhale, circle the arms up, catch your prayer overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips as the prayer washes through your center line. Plant your palms and then slowly walk your hands forward, back into downward facing dog. Feels like a totally new down dog for me after all that cleansing. Just noticing here. Okay, now bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend and widen your knees and hover your sit bones down towards your heels. Now you might need to walk your hands back a tad. That's cool. Look forward, plug the finger pads into the earth, and then find a little up and down motion here through your hips. A little crouching kitty. Take a deep breath in here. As you breathe out, you're going to pounce yourself forward with your right foot, stepping it outside your right hand, and then tense your fingers right away. Drop your back knee to the earth. Inhale, allow your hips to draw forward, your heart and your gaze to lift up. Then exhale, rock your seat back towards your left heel, lengthening your right leg, flexing the right foot as you dig the right heel into the earth. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, come forward, low lizard lunge. Exhale, rock it back into a wide half split. 1 more time. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, rocking back. Inhale, come forward and pounce your left foot outside your left hand. And then let your head be heavy, standing forward folds. Let it be wide stance for today. Tense your left fingertips under your nose. Little bend in your left knee. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And then weave your right arm underneath the left, eagle arms. Bend your knees quite a bit. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, lengthening the tailbone, reaching your eagle arms up. As you exhale, bend your knees a lot, round the spine, and draw your elbows in towards your belly. Inhale to lift yourself back up to stand. And then as you exhale, free the arms, circle them down by the sides as you hinge at the hips and fold. Inhale to find some length here through the spine, either fingertips on the earth or hands on shins. And now plant your fingertips on the earth. Step that left leg back behind you. You're in a lizard lunge. Plant the palms, breathe in. Breathe out, step the right foot back for downward facing dog. Inhale, float forward plank. Exhale, right away, lower your knees, your chest, your chin. Inhale either into cobra, or you might pop your knees up off the earth altogether for up dog. Keep the quads lifted, shoulders peeling back. Exhale, lift from the belly and the hips, back to down dog. Deep breath in here. And you can sigh it out. Okay, big toes touch. Inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, bend and widen the knees. Come into that crouching kitty. And hang here for a moment, just like coiling your energy, getting it ready. Breathe in. So you breathe out, pounce forward, step your left foot outside your left hand. Tense your fingers. Drop your back knee down. Inhale, shoulders peel back, heartless. Exhale, rock back, digging the left heel into the earth for that wide half split. 2 more times. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. 1 more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. This time as we breathe in, we're going to leap forward, right foot outside our right hand. And then breathe out, let your head be heavy. Tense your right fingertips under your nose. Micro bend in your right knee as you reach your left arm up, drawing that left outer hip back. And then weave your left arm underneath the right. Either give yourself a hug or eagle wrap your arms. Bend your knees. Inhale. Rise up to stand. Exhale, bend the knees a lot. Round the spine like cat as you draw the elbows towards the belly. Inhale, press down into the earth to lift yourself up. And then as you exhale, break your arms free. Swan dive all the way back down into your legs. Inhale to a flat back, either fingertips on ground or hands on shins. Exhale, release, fingertips tent, stepping your right foot back behind you, lizard lunge as you inhale. Plant the palms, find a little rounding through the upper back as you step the left foot back to meet the right, downward facing. Inhale to come forward plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Really hug those elbows in. Inhale, cobra, or maybe upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breathing right here. Take a moment to ground, to notice. Love these moments of yin, of stillness between all the movement. Bring your big toes to touch again. Inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend and widen your knees. Crouching kitty. This time on the bottom of your breath out, you're going to step, hop, or float your feet outside your hands right into a little frog squat. So you can take a moment there to tense your fingers in front of you and sort of shift side to side. So just move it around. Let the energy move. Let it flow. Let the breath flow. Maybe you stick your tongue out. And then take a moment here to dig the elbows into the inner thighs. Press your palms together actively in front of your heart. And then as you engage your root lock there, you find a little lift through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, tent the fingers in front of you, lengthen the legs, turn the toes forward, bring your feet hips width, and heavy your head. Inhale to a flat back, and then rise all the way up to stand. Catch a prayer overhead. Look up. As you exhale, the prayer drifts into your heart. Arms by your sides. Okay. So for this, you might want to back up just a little bit, making some space in the front of the mat there. So we're going to move from Kundalini crow into more of a hatha-styled traditional crow. So feet are nice and parallel, hips width. Inhale, bend the knees, maybe even sweep the fingertips to graze the earth as you reach them up. And now you're going to slowly come into a half chair, Ardha Utkatasana, so that your chest moves down towards your thighs, your sit bones spread back, your fingertips reach forward. Your arms are lifting as much as they can, your knees are right over your ankles, and you're consciously and intentionally shifting the weight back into the heels, so much so that maybe even your toes lift. The breath for sure is deep here. This is deep. Building strength. And then plant your palms wide onto the earth in front of you. Lift your heels. Bring your knees up onto your triceps, maybe even up towards your shoulders. Shift the weight forward into the fingertips. Find a little rounding in the spine, but look forward with the eyes. Then maybe one heel to a sit bone, maybe the other, maybe both. Keep hugging the elbows in. Find the inner lift of Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Ooh, and then gently drop your feet back down, hips width, and fold. Holy moly. Shake it out. Inhale, tent the fingertips, lengthen the spine. Go ahead and step your left foot back behind you right here. Slide your fingertips back. Soften your back knee down. And then rise your arms up into a low crescent. And then take a moment here to cactus your arms and sort of take a backstroke. Getting into all those crunchy, dark places in the shoulders. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Maybe you catch a prayer crossing the left thumb over the right. Lifting the heart up and back. And then as you exhale, bring the fingertips to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Inhale to lengthen that right leg, flex your right foot, and then turn your right toes to the left. Parallel your feet for a wide straddle forward fold here. Prasarita Padottanasana. Take a moment to let your head get heavy. The back of the neck long, shifting ever so slightly more weight into the balls of the feet, maybe even stretching your arms long in front of you, like downward facing dog style. Can be really nice. Just letting this inversion, head below the heart, clear and calm the mind. Okay, I could be here forever today, so we'll move on. Tense your fingers, walk them back, right under your shoulders. Put a bend in your left knee, shift your weight over to the left, you guys. And then switch it. Shift your weight to the right as you bend the right knee. And then switch it again. To the left, to the right. And now turn your toes out ever so slightly like that frog squat. Put the bend in your left knee. Bring your fingertips over to the left. And then spiral your right toes up towards the ceiling for Skandasana. Right away, activate your root lock. Okay, so find that Mula Bandha, that inner lift. Either fingertips on the ground, or maybe you stretch the left fingertips out to the left there. Right arm up. Leaning back into the right shoulder blade. Maybe you stay here, maybe you half bind. Some of you might even catch a full bind, clasping your hands behind you. Drawing your left rib cage forward, your right rib cage back. So turning to the right. Focus on one point with your eyes. Breathe. Might even close your eyes. Gently release yourself, whatever you have going on. Tent the fingers in front of you. Use your bandhas here to lift yourself back up through center. And then turn your toes to the right here. Left arm leads, circle yourself up into warrior two. So nice and strong. Shoulders over hips. Palms up to the sky. Inhale, peaceful warrior, left palm down, right palm up. Then as you exhale, right forearm, right thigh, left arm either straight up or over the ear. You choose. See if you can really work your hips underneath you, and then work that wrapping open of the rib cage there so that the heart is opening up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your palms down. You can rinse it through vinyasa, any vinyasa that you'd like. And then we'll take this on the other side. So big toes touch. Inhale, lift the heels high, bend and widen the knees. Crouching kitty. Bottom of your next breath out. Step, hop, float into malasana, frog squat. Dig the elbows into the inner thighs right away. Lift up through the spine. Invite a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, fingertips to the earth. Lengthen the legs, toes forward, feet, hips width, heavy head. Inhale to a flat back and rise all the way up to stand. Catch a prayer and then draw the prayer in. Arms by the sides, feet hips width. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale into your Kundalini crow, aka half chair. Dipping the weight into the heels, finding more lift through the arms, finding more breath. Imagine you're squeezing a block between your inner thighs. Release your palms wide to the earth. Tipping your weight forward into your finger pads, heels lift. Draw yourself forward. Keep that rounding here through the spine. Lift through Mula Bandha. And then gently drop your feet back down. Standing forward fold. From here, inhale to lengthen the spine. Step the right foot back behind you. Soften your right knee down. And then lift your arms up for a low crescent. Same here. Cactus your arms. You can find a back stroke, forward stroke, whatever feels good. Inviting more of your own inner wisdom into play here. And then inhale, reach your arms up into a prayer. Maybe cross the right thumb over the left there. Activate your root lock, draw your right hip forward, and then lean your heart back. Gently release the fingertips to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Inhale, lengthen your front leg, lift your front toes. Turn your toes to the right, parallel your feet. Come into that wide straddle fold. You can stretch the arms long in front of you again. Or any other variation that's suitable for your body that really allows your spine to get heavy, crown of head encouraged down towards the earth. Grab big toes, grab ankles. Invitation to do something different on this side if you're craving it. Okay. Fingertips underneath your shoulders. Put a bend in your right knee, shift your weight to the right. Bend in your left knee to the left. Again, to the right like this, to the left. And then turn your toes out about 45 degrees as you shift the weight back over into your right leg. Walk your fingertips towards your right leg, spiraling left toes to the sky. Skandasana. And then take your variation. And see if you can really find some contentment, santosha, with whatever variation is for you today, right? Even if you can bind on some days, might not be the day for it. And that's okay. Turning your ribcage to the left. And then release your bind, tent the fingertips. Use your bandhas as you come through center. Turning your toes to the left. And then right arm leads you up and open into warrior two right there. So your right toes are angled forward ever so slightly to protect your right knee. Palms up, inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm lightly lands on your left thigh. Right arm can either reach straight up or over your right ear. Draw the hips underneath you, the rib cage in. And then feel the length through the right side, everybody. So really anchoring through the outer edge of the right foot, reaching through your right fingertips. And then dance your way back into peaceful warrior as you inhale. Exhale, cartwheel. Your palms down. Rinse it on through. And breathe. Bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend and widen the knees. Step up or float your feet between your hands this time. Inhale to lengthen your spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold yourself in. And then inhale to rise all the way up to stand. Catch a prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Arms by the sides. Okay, inhale, Utkatasana. This time as you exhale, get lower, 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 lower. Drop your booty all the way to the earth. Come into Navasana boat pose. Hug your thighs to the belly, belly to the thighs. Your knees can be bent, or you might lengthen the legs. You're going to take an inhale here. On the exhale, lower halfway, Ardha Navasana. You're hovering off the earth. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Keep the big toe joints touching here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Strong center. Let's awaken. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop your feet. Hands behind you. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, lion's breath. Dropping your seat down here. Take another boat pose. Inhale. Exhale, rock your feet behind you. Plow. And then rock and roll. You can step, hop, or float through a vinyasa. Okay, big toes touch. Inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, bend and widen the knees. Step, hop, or float, your feet to the top. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine and rise up to stand. Exhale, gather the prayer into your heart. Okay, this time, right foot stays on the earth. Gonna hug the left knee in towards the chest, interlacing the hands around the left shin. Firm up the right quad. And then make your way into tree. Sole of the left foot into your right inner thigh. You can bring your hands on your hips, maybe a prayer to your heart. You might lift your arms up. And then see, everybody, if you can check out interlacing your hands behind your back right here and extending your arms back. And then put a little bend in your right knee, stepping your left foot back all the way into warrior one. So a little bit wider with your stance. You're gonna inhale to lift your heart up here, firming up the back leg, wrap your left hip forward. And then exhale to slowly, mindfully come down into humble warrior. So your right outer hip is drawing back and in. Your belly's lifting and your head is just fallen right there. Releasing your fingertips to the ground. Inhale, lengthen your right leg. And then widen your stance even more, maybe even shorten it, bringing the back foot forward a tad. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and then exhale to fold over your right leg. So we're in pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Keep the littlest bend in your right knee, everybody. Micro bend there as to not hyperextend through your hamstrings. Might even stretch your arms forward a little bit here like down dog. Use it as leverage to draw your hips back. Opening up the back of the right leg. Here, walk your hands back just a tad. Put a bend in your right knee as you lift the left leg up from the inner thigh, standing splits. Let your head get heavy. And then drop your left foot down, hips width next to your right, and folds. Just going to take that on the other side. Inhale, lengthen the spine and rise all the way up to stand. Catch prayer. Exhale, prayer to your heart. Arms by your sides. Shifting the weight into your left foot. Hug your right knee into your chest, interlacing the hands around your right shin. Press that left quad back. Peel the shoulders back and lift your beautiful heart, straight exposing the front of the heart. And then take it into tree. So that right foot can be anywhere along the left thigh. Maybe even down by the ankle if you need some extra support. Just not on the knee. Maybe your arms lift up, who knows? We play with the balance. Imagine you are the tree. Imagine roots growing down from your left foot to the core of the earth. And then see if you can check out interlacing the hands behind your back and extending the arms behind you. Put a little bend in your left knee, step back, warrior one. Inhale to lift your heart up. Exhale slowly through a flat back, right? As you come down, allowing your spine to round, your head to get super heavy, and your left outer hip to come back into center. Breathe into the shape. And then release your fingertips to the earth. Lengthen your left leg, shorten and widen your stance even more. Inhale to a flat back, stretching the heart forward out of the hips. And then exhale to fold over your left leg, maybe extending the arms long if you did that on the other side. Just check in. We have a nice viewpoint here of our hips, so just make sure that everything is aligning in a neutral position, right? And we're not swaying one way or the other way, right? Just finding equilibrium. Micro bend in the left knee. Soften the face, soften the jaw. Lift your head on your next inhale. Tent the fingers, put a little bend in your left knee. Lift your right leg up as you heavy your head down, standing splits. And then drop the right foot down, hips width next to the left. This time we're gonna step back, plank pose, and then drop your knees. Soften down into child's pose. From here you can roll up to sitting on your shins. You can take a moment to roll your wrists out. Maybe bring the backs of the hands to your rib cage and just sort of work into your wrists there. Okay, so we're ready. So we're ready to get into our tripod headstand. So first we're going to move into a little dolphin pose to prep, okay? And you're welcome to stay right there in your dolphin, especially if you have cervical spine stuff, okay? If you have any sort of neck stuff, like, don't aggravate it even more, okay? So just be with dolphin, or you can feel free if, kicking up into Pincha Mayurasanas in your practice, more power to you, okay? So we're gonna bring our forearms down to the earth and then take a moment there just to grab opposite elbows. So just check in that your elbows are indeed shoulders width, okay? Then bring your arms, your forearms straight in front of you like railroad tracks. Spread your palms wide, really dig the finger pads into the earth. Now you're gonna tuck your toes, lift your hips up, your knees will pop up. So you're in dolphin. See if you can walk your toes forward a little bit. Okay. And then I want you to see about pressing your chest back towards your thighs so that your shoulders actually move back behind your elbows. This is ideally where we would like to be if you are especially kicking up into forearm stand. You want to keep this alignment here, more of a shoulders back behind the elbows rather than the shoulders shifting forward. Okay, so just let your head be heavy here. Done a lot of hamstring opening. So maybe this feels a little bit more accessible for you today. You're welcome to hang here. Okay. If you want to move into tripod, drop your knees down. Drop your forehead for a moment. Let your arms swing back. Palms face up, just releasing the shoulders there for a moment. And then again, roll up to sitting on your shins. Grab your blanket. Bring your blanket into a nice little square. So your blanket's going to be a nice soft landing for the crown of your head, okay? So bringing your blanket right in front of you, bring your hands, so wide hands just underneath your blanket. Okay, so probably about half of your hand there, especially your fingers, right, are underneath your blanket. Your hands are shoulders width, so just check in. Index fingers face forward. Check, check, check. Okay? And now from here, we're just going to bend the elbows straight back and then lower your third eye to the earth, just sort of like that Kundalini Kriya. And then from here, you're just going to roll onto the crown of the head. Okay? So your alignment here should be pretty set up as you enter it. And then tuck your toes, pop your knees up, lift your hips up and back. Okay, this might be where you're like, okay, I'm going to stop here. That's fine. Okay, I want you to hug your elbows in so that they're over the wrists. Walk your feet forward. Feel your hips lift up. And then maybe your right knee to your right tricep. Maybe your left knee to your left tricep. So it's kind of like an upside down crow. So fun. Maybe you stay here. Keep those elbows hugging in. It's a lot for the triceps, right? Maybe you lift one leg up. And then maybe the other one. Who knows? Or you can lift both up at the same time. I know it's tricky, but see if you can find the distribution of weight here. Upside down. Bring your big toe joints to touch. Reach through the balls of the feet. Spread the toes. And breathe. Engage the quads. Save some juice, some prana for the way down. Bend the knees. Draw the heels in towards the sit bones. As your knees come in front of you, your sit bones have to drop back. So there's a creasing of the hips. Your knees can come back down onto your triceps. Wee. Feet to the earth. And then happily you can let your knees drop down. Bring the arms back by the sides. Whew. And then slowly roll yourself up to sitting on your shins. Inhale to stretch your arms up by your ears. Exhale, twist to the right. It's a little twisted hero's pose. Scoop your tail forward. Inhale to lift your hips up here. You can allow your left arm to stretch long over your left ear for a little half baby camel. And then come back down. Move through center. Inhale, reach both of your arms up by your ears. Exhale, twist to the left. Sitting up nice and tall. Scoop your tail forward. Inhale, lift your hips up, right arm by right ear. And then exhale to come back down. Shift your weight over into one hip. Bring your legs out long in front of you. You might roll up that blanket and bring it right underneath your knees. Paschimottanasana. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, crease at the hips, stretch your heart forward towards your toes, and then soften the shoulders, soften the head. Bow down into yourself. I've been digging my elbows onto my knees and then reaching for opposite arms there, letting my forehead rest on my forearm. Begin to really slow down the breath. To bring yourself back down to earth. And slowly roll up through the spine. We're going to come into a little meditation to close, so you can feel free to unravel your blanket and have a seat on it. I'm going to take some Brahmari breathing, bee's breath, which really allows us to drop deep, deep, deep inside ourselves, okay? So that we can expand in a grounded way even more as we return into the world, okay? So just rub your hands together a little bit, find some nice warmth. And then you are going to be closing off your senses here. So your thumbs will close off your ears, and then we'll do a modified version today where our other 4 fingers glue together, and then they just come over the eyes, okay? So that we're closing off the physical eyes so that our third eye can open there, okay? So we will close off the ears with the thumbs, and then you'll begin humming with yourself. So like a little bee or a little hummingbird, right? And the next time you hear my voice, it'll be time to close out. Okay, so go ahead, thumbs on the ears, other fingers over the physical eyes. Soften the shoulders, sit up nice and tall. So breathing in, and then the breath out is a hum. Gently release the hands, press your palms into a prayer at your heart center. Practicing being with whatever shows up, whatever came up. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Make an O shape with the mouth, cannon breath. prayer to the forehead, little bow of the head. Namaste, Sat Nam, yogis. Thank you, thank you, thank you, as always, for your presence and for sharing the yoga love in your own little garden, in your own little world. Feel free to tell me in the comments how you're feeling, what you experienced, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.